Every generation believes their technology is different. Every generation believes this time, humans will be replaced. We've heard this fear before, with books, with libraries, with the internet, with calculators, with digital tools, and now with AI. But history keeps telling the same story. Technology has never truly replaced humans. It has shifted roles. It has shifted value. It has shifted advantage. And that distinction matters because fear tells a dramatic story. Reality tells a quieter one. Fear says, we are being replaced. Reality says, we are being challenged. Fear says, everything is ending. Reality says, everything is evolving. This is thinking with AI, a space to slow down, to understand how technology is changing how we think, how we work, and how we live. Let's talk. There's a comparison people love making. Calculators replaced math teachers. But that's not what happened. Math teachers didn't disappear. Math didn't collapse. What changed was repetition, manual calculation, endless arithmetic grind. Before calculators, math required patience, precision, and tolerance for error. One mistake, you started again. Here's what people forget. Children don't begin with calculators. They begin with basics, addition, subtraction, multiplication tables, mental arithmetic. They memorize. They struggle. They build number sense. Why? Because foundations create judgment. Without foundations, tools become risky. AI is not replacing thinking. AI is reducing friction. It reads faster, processes faster, writes faster, finds patterns faster, but speed alone does not equal understanding. Critical thinking still belongs to humans. Judgment still belongs to humans. Responsibility still belongs to humans. There is a real risk. Using AI without thinking, like using a calculator without number sense. Some resisted calculators. Some mastered them. The tool didn't decide outcomes. Human response did. Let's stay here for a moment, because this pattern is not new. It only feels new. Every technological shift feels unprecedented, while quietly repeating history. First comes excitement, then confusion, then fear, then resistance, and finally, integration. What gets replaced is rarely the human. It is the task, the repetition, the friction, the low-leverage effort, and sometimes the outdated model. When friction disappears, value does not disappear. Value relocates to judgment, to creativity, to interpretation, to decision-making. The danger is not the tool. It is how humans relate to the tool. Blind trust is risky. Blind rejection is also risky. Wisdom lives between extremes. AI amplifies thinking. Clear thinking improves results. Confused thinking multiplies errors. The amplifier is neutral. The input is human. Take that in. Technology reflects us. It exposes our habits, our strengths, and our shortcuts. Calculators didn't remove intelligence. They exposed understanding. The internet didn't remove knowledge. It exposed adaptability. AI won't remove humans. It will expose thinking. The future is not human versus AI. It is human with AI versus human without reflection. So the question is not, will AI replace us? But rather, how will we choose to think alongside it? Let's begin somewhere quieter, not with fear, not with predictions. Because technological change is never just external. It is deeply personal. It enters your routines, your work, your confidence, and sometimes your sense of identity. Pause for a moment. Think about the last major shift you lived through. Smartphones, social media, remote work. How did it feel at first? For many professionals, AI doesn't trigger curiosity first. It triggers discomfort. A quiet question forms. Where do I fit now? Consider an accountant. Years of study, precision, structure. Then automation enters. Software calculates instantly. The fear isn't laziness. It's displacement anxiety. But what actually shifts? Not the accountant's value, the accountant's role. From calculation to interpretation to advisory thinking. Now consider a designer. AI generates images, layouts, concepts. The fear whispers, am I becoming irrelevant? But creativity was never execution alone. It was taste, judgment, meaning, cultural sensitivity. Feeling replaceable is a human wound, not a technological one. It predates AI. It lives in workplaces, institutions, social comparison. Your function may change. Your value does not disappear. Value is not a task. It is perspective. Judgment. Context. AI processes information. Humans assign meaning. AI predicts patterns. Humans decide direction. AI generates options. Humans choose. Sit with that distinction. Processing versus deciding. The future is conversational, not because AI talks, but because humans must question, clarify, challenge outputs, and apply judgment. This is not an age of replacement. It is an age of exposure. Exposure of how we think, how we decide, and how consciously we adapt. Let's talk about trust. Not blind trust, not fearful distrust, but conscious trust. The kind humans must learn again. Humans are comforted by certainty, even when certainty is false. We trusted search engines without questioning rankings. We trusted headlines without reading articles. Now we risk trusting AI outputs as if they are conclusions. Pause for a moment. When AI gives an answer, what do you feel? Relief? Doubt? Dependency? Convenience is seductive. It feels like progress. But convenience can quietly erode engagement. When everything becomes easier, we risk thinking less, questioning less, evaluating less. Consider navigation. Before GPS, we learned routes. Landmarks, spatial awareness. After GPS, travel became easier. But many lost their internal maps. The tool improved movement, while weakening memory for some. Thinking is a cognitive muscle. Unused muscles weaken. Delegated muscles shift function. AI can carry load, but humans must still lift judgment. Judgment cannot be automated, because judgment requires values, context, ethics, consequences. Consider medicine. AI can analyze scans, patterns, probabilities, but treatment decisions remain deeply human. Because humans weigh suffering, quality of life, personal values. AI can inform decisions, but responsibility cannot be delegated. Outcomes still belong to humans. Humans sometimes seek something dangerous, a place to place blame, a system, a manager, a tool. AI may become the next scapegoat, but tools do not choose. They execute. Humans choose. Humans decide. Humans remain accountable. Pause. This is not about resisting AI. It is about staying conscious with it. Human advantage is shifting from memory to interpretation, from speed to discernment, from information to wisdom. This is an era of amplified intelligence and amplified responsibility. Because power always demands awareness, and awareness is still human work. This is Thinking with AI, where we learn, think, create, and evolve.